Hello guys, welcome to the EluciCast. It's something that I'm trying out, something different, something to kind of give you a little bit of more me. Hopefully that's a good thing in between videos. It's something that I can quickly put together, yet at the same time, hopefully you like either the sound of my voice or you just like the way that I explain things, because hopefully, I said hopefully too many times, I'm just ranting. Basically what I do is I'm going to be taking first impressions. I'll play a game for like an hour or two or three or whatever, just long enough to get like a general overall feel for it for the beginning. I'll do like my first impression take on it, and then I will come back after I beat the game and see if those opinions have changed, if anything stayed the same. Again, of course, there's gonna be spoilers at any point, so don't be like, spoilers, man. They're gonna be there. I'm not filtering anything really, especially on my end game. Like when I go back to the game, that's definitely going to be 100% spoilers, because there's probably gonna be a lot of bullshit that I need to point out, and yeah, I'm not gonna hold back from that. Anyways, my first game that I'm gonna be doing here is Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, which is a fucking mouthful to begin with, and so far I have no idea what the hell it means. Which is, I mean, it could be a good thing, because maybe it's just like holding it off till the end. But at the same time, I kind of feel like your title should give you some idea of what's going on. You know, like Crystal Chronicles or Final Fantasy. That's like, it's about the Crystal Chronicles. You don't have to really get into rocket science with that. Or Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's about the rise of the Tomb Raider. But if you get a name like Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, it's an odd mixture. Integrity and faithlessness. Not only is faithlessness hard to say, like I have to consciously go faithlessness. It's just I don't know, odd pick. So hopefully by the time I get to the end of this, it actually makes sense. So here we go. I did write a script for this out, but I'm kind of ad-libbing it at the same time. So yeah, if it sounds like it's written, then it kind of is. If it sounds like I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, it's probably because I don't. I'm just kidding, I do. Anyways, my first thought on the game, that is before I actually bought it, was nope, this game looks just like a PS3 game. And the reviews that I found didn't really make me want to dish out a lot of money on it. Now before you go, man, that's pretty shallow, just judging a game based off of its looks. It's not actually without warrant. In my opinion, the visual style is very off-putting, and that's actually a term that I'll use quite frequently in this, which I'm already making it sound really negative, but it's just finish, okay? Finish. Realistic backdrops and enemies with extremely cartoony characters that are some kind of weird blend of chibi face meets typical anime. They don't really mix well for me. Everyone not only looks extremely young, but it also gives them this weird like fetus face kind of thing. Like Mickey, for example, or Miki, whatever the hell her name is. Her face looks like, if you look at it like a sonogram of a baby, while it's like, I don't know, like half term or whatever, that's what she looks like, but she stayed that way. That's not how people look. And no matter how your style looks, you know, on paper, you can draw shit that looks weird on paper. It doesn't really translate to regular 3D, which brings me to this next point where I'm actually suggesting, hey, Square Enix, why don't you go to cel shaded with this series? Because it makes so much sense. You have the cartoons and like the Star Ocean 2, and I think Star Ocean 1, you did it whenever you did the reboots for PSP. You did that. It translated really well. They were really nice. It was just a straight up drawn anime cutscene. Why don't you do that with the regular game? Because regular 3D models just make everyone look weird. Now, even the old people look weird. They just look like teenagers with drawn on wrinkles, which I'm not a big fan of. I'd like to see old people that look like old people. I actually think, before I move too far from this, I think that this game was actually intended to be on the PS3. I have no evidence of that or anything, but it's just, it looks a lot like Till the End of Time, and they just look like really, really high resolution PS3 models. There's no texturing on the skin. There's no anything weird. It's just a very odd thing. It's weird. It's just, you know what I'm talking about. I'll probably, if I'm putting this, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll slap up some pictures or whatever. Anyways, besides the PS3 models, there's so many reused character animations that are found even within the first couple minutes of the fucking game. Like, the first fight that you have is with, like, it's very cliche. You're on like this in the ocean pillar thing. Okay, you're in like a coastal city and you're on this tower that's kind of going off into the ocean over on a cliff or whatever, and you're like training with your buddy or whatever. Okay, so you go and get control of the main character, Fidel, and the first thing that I noticed was he has the exact same, to the T, same character fight attack animation as Fate. I'll get into that in more detail a little bit. But he has the same X attack, he has the same circle attack, and it's really kind of just like, Besides that, I got off track a little bit. So let's go back. Right along the same lines of everyone being really young, all protagonists are also very young, and they have weird roles. Fidel's in charge of a training academy, but he's like 18. And like I said, I'll go into that in a second, but that should hopefully be enough to raise a brow. And I don't even know if he's 18. He could be younger because of how freaking young they make everyone look. The short version is that everyone is young, and anyone who is not important is also young, sans the random old people that aimlessly walk around as NPCs. The entire world seems to be populated by teenagers, and I want to know how the fuck that works. Even Fidel's dad looks just a few years older than him, which doesn't make any sense. They don't pop out of the... You don't just pop out, right? And then you fuck, and then, like, baby. That's... No. That's not how real life works. That's not how any made-up sci-fi universe is going to work either, because that just does not make sense. All right, so for the characters, here we go. Here's my gripe list. Fidel, I'll start with the main character, okay? He is a just straight up copy, a paste of Fate, or I don't know how exactly you spell it. I think it's Fayt. I don't know. From Star Ocean till the end of time, down to the attack animation. Like I was saying, it's annoying because I find it highly unlikely that a swordsman from a completely different galaxy will have the exact same style of combat as someone from the other side of the galaxy. Does it stop me from playing? No. But if you want to use the same assets, at least make the character the same. That way it would make kind of sense, you know, like make a sequel where he is traveling to other galaxies and you just pick up where you left off, or maybe he had a son. I mean, just do something to make it make sense. It's weird. It's weird. Mickey has this super hard, like, childhood friends, but I like the hero thing going on. And Fidel has this, oh, she's like a sister. I'd never see her like that. But let me take a step back here real quick. Those are like the exact lines found within the first couple minutes of the game. The issue that I have is that she might as well say, why don't you... Sorry, let me do my voices, because otherwise it just does not have the same effect, okay? Why don't you come and fuck me? Because she is so goddamn blatant about her interests that it hurts. She even has a line at one point where she intentionally gets on a different dude's nerves because she thinks it's cute when he's flustered. Just straight up says it in front of the whole group. Like, what the fuck, Mickey? Half an hour ago you were hitting on Fidel. Jesus Christ, close your legs. No one wants to hear about your fantasies and your shit, all right? Okay, so for the next one, this is what happened. Designer guy was at the office for this game. He really wanted some shit to rub one out. So he's like, I'm an artist. I'll just make a chick, my dream girl. So he draws this chick up, right? And then the director or whatever walks in and is like, Masturbatory-san, what the hell? And then he showed him the picture, to which the director responded with a wide grin going like, and shortly afterwards, she has given a name gave a name to the character, and that name was Fior, the product of a pervy Japanese dude in his quest to get off. She makes no sense. Her character is written as this intelligent, practical, logical, somewhat cynical character, but her fucking outfit is made up of patches and a couple pieces of fabric. She has cat ears, a tail, wings as accessories. She's not some cat chick. She chose to have those things. The signature just NPCs at the Magic Capital place dress more appropriate to that character archetype than the actual character that it was written for. What were they doing? What were they thinking? She should be fucking, I don't know, seductive and wanting to like fuck everyone, not cold and calculating. I just don't really understand. To add to this confusion, her walk and run animation looks smooth as hell. So much so that it's like distracting in a way. Like, it's so much more than the other characters, and that makes me believe that my aforementioned, whatever the hell you say that word, aforementioned story might actually hold some weight. To their credit, they gave her one of the sexiest video game butts I've ever seen in a game, but it's just so nonsensical that it has to leave you bewildered. Fidel's dad is just a typical, I'm a serious man, I act hard, my son better address me by my title, and has his typical relationship with his son. You know the one. Fidel has daddy issues, but is actually just like him, and he probably won't discover it until some major plot point occurs. Dad will probably die, and he'll have some revelation. I'm only a few hours in, and I'm already calling it. If I'm wrong... What am I saying? There's no way I could be wrong, because this game is nothing but misplaced stereotyping and cliche character archetypes. Don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying the game because of the history behind it. It's a Star Ocean game. The atmosphere and general direction the story goes in is fun and it's exciting. The music is so grandiose and epic, the combat is super smooth, the level up system is fast. The entire game, down to the dialogue, has been streamlined so you never really have to sit there and wait for the game itself. Even during the cutscenes, you can walk around like 95% of the time. The specialty theme seems pretty cool, and the item creation looks like it might have some potential, although, in my opinion, Star Ocean 2 had the most entertaining item creation. And I know that without even having to finish the game. Here's the catch. If the other games didn't exist, this game would lose some serious credibility, and that's an inherent problem. The overarching issue that I have seen thus far is that it is just super hardcore Japanese as fuck and did not translate to accommodate Western audiences. It comes off as cheesy, corny, and the dialogue sometimes doesn't really fit at all. So what do I mean by that last one? Well, okay, well, check this out, okay? I was teleported from a temperate coastal area, okay? A temperate coastal area where it was nice and breezy and everything was nice and warm and everyone was happy, to the middle of a fucking blizzard. And the characters, who were confused when they arrived, walked 30 feet into a cave and decided to give an oral history of the world and force-feed history and character backstory to the player. But it's not written like in a natural way. They just straight up Schoolhouse Rock the damn thing and say word for word, like a goddamn encyclopedia, what the thing is. And the other person just goes, oh, how fascinating. I would like to know more. And you as the player go, why the frozen fuck? Are they not discussing a way to, I don't know, not freeze to death? Fior has hypothermia, whatever, fuck, hypothermia, okay? Instant fucking hypothermia, and no one gives a shit. No one's cold, not even a simple brrr line from anybody. Instead, I'm greeted with, this land is frozen year-round, and the toughest soldiers come from here. The toughest? You're trying to make yourself sound all tough, aren't you? Oh, of course not. Like fucking hell, you cocky son of a bitch, get the fuck out of here, you like sick. Okay, so you get what I mean, okay? The worst part is that I only exaggerated on the situation. The core of that scenario actually happens. Like, why the fuck? I don't need to be told who a character is. I just met the dude. Let me learn through playing it. I'm sure I can speak for others when I say that we're totally okay not knowing everything about a character when we first meet him. That's normal. You don't start a book by giving us a detailed biography of the people that you're talking about in the book through dialogue. That's not good writing. It's bad writing. But alas, this could also just be an example of Western mistranslation, as in it's directly translated and therefore does not make sense in our culture, so it seems odd. And that's that thing that I mentioned before. In any case, despite my complaints, I'm still enjoying it, and I'm sure I will continue to enjoy it because I fucking love that crazy jazz organ, and I just love science fiction. And I'll still probably suggest it to an interested party, providing it was like $20 on sale, like it was whenever I bought it. I bought it for like $18 on Amazon Prime or something. Wasn't gonna buy it if it wasn't cheap. I'll check back up, like I said, at the end of the game when the time comes. I know I missed a lot of stuff, but this is a different kind of review. It's one where I make the rules and don't give a fuck about your opinion about what reviews should actually contain. I guess that's probably why I never called it a review to begin with. Or I might have. I forgot, actually. I don't remember what I said. I know that when I wrote the script, though, it says review. So that's some, like, behind-the-scenes shit for you, I guess. Till next time, or should I divulge my fucking life story before I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. I was born in a hospital. Gee, that's fascinating. Tell me more. Well, in a hospital, they have medical things that go on and they do things gone done running. Alright. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I had fun talking about it.